Alrighty, it says I'm live, but you never know. You never know with this computer. $1,500 hunk of junk is what I call it because it half the time. And right now, I see my lips moving, and they're moving after I'm saying something. So there's a little bit of a lag. I apologize. But anyway, that's not why we're here. We're here to talk about parts one and two of Big Brother season premiere. And honestly, y'all, I mean, I posted this on my Twitter. I'm getting tired of the whole let's just give somebody a power and let them use it and run havoc, like wreak havoc on the house. The whole voting someone to make them that powerful. I mean, that's more powerful than the HOH. He Jackson was given or voted and given the power to become counselor, and he had to make the tough decision of appointing four people for banishment. Four people for banishment. And in my opinion, what they should have done is because those four people were at a huge disadvantage was make that those four people the only ones eligible for HOH. So the way that it should have worked, in my opinion, is those four people that were banished. The first one that comes back is HOH. The last one is eliminated. That's the only fair thing because then you have them after that challenge go and compete in the actual HOH. So they're doing stuff, and y'all, if y'all have seen this in the past, that big ass like a pool of honey is really really sticky, so much so they can pull the hair off of men's legs. Like they've shown stuff where men pull their pants back and their hair is missing because that honey was so sticky. So trudging through that several times is not easy. It's exhaustive. And then we don't know how big that little arena is or how what they had to do. So there's a lot of crawling around, there's a lot of mental strain, and it's not fair. So what I'm saying is in the future, if anyone from Big Brother is watching this, probably reconsider how you play the game or how you allow the players to play the game. Because right now, I think that a lot of people got the short end of the stick at the beginning, and it wasn't fair. Also, what should have been a stipulation was, well, I guess you can't really say that because the whole campaigning thing was something that they came up with in the house. I mean, it is a social experiment, but it was so vindictive of Jackson and Danielle Donato. She called it early. So did I. I'm sure so a lot of you did as well. That Jackson's not going to last very long. I can tell that Jack and Jackson, they're really full of themselves, and they incorporated all of these people into an alliance that they don't really know. And I'm not sure what they're running, but they're definitely not running that house. They cannot control Isabella, despite what they may believe. Isabella is going to destroy them. Christy and Tommy are going to destroy them. Christy and Tommy are going to be, in my opinion, a very strong alliance, very strong secret alliance. Maybe it all depends on Tommy because if you notice the HOH competition and he sort of fell, but kind of threw it. He sort of celebrated that Christie won, and that right there, if I was in the house, I'd be like looking sideways at that situation. Why would you guys wait? You're the last two on the little stick thingy. You fall, but then you start jumping up and down like, yes, yes, yes. The fuck? Did I miss something? Y'all both have that really strange accent, and this is summer camp, and something's not right here. If I was in the alliance with Christie, I'd play cool. But at the same time, I would definitely tell somebody, like, yo, we need to look into this. Because if you remember, when they were talking to Jackson, both Tommy and Christie were in the room together talking to Jackson. Tommy and Christie seem to be floating around. And I'm not sure if I saw this correctly, but I also think they're sharing a bed. Come on, people. It, maybe I didn't see what I saw. I just saw them going to two bags that happened to be on the same bed and they were pulling clothes out of the bags together. I don't know. It's just a lot to take in. The fact that I don't know that they sound so similar and I don't know. They just keep gravitating towards one another. I mean, it's natural. If I were put into a house with someone that I knew, and a bunch of strangers, I'm probably most likely going to gravitate towards them because it's something familiar. And when we're thrust into a new environment, we want to look for something familiar. That's all that that is. But at the same time, from a Big Brother standpoint, I would not want to be in the house with someone I knew unless everyone else in the house was someone they knew. Now, what do I think is going on? I think that Tommy and Christy, they aren't the only two that happen to know each other. We just haven't gotten to that part yet because it's happened before where they're like, oh, people know each other. And then you've got the obvious two at the beginning that they are showcasing for us when in actuality, there's probably another pair in there that knows each other as well. Um, if I had to take a guess, I would say that Annalise knows somebody in the house. And I don't know why I think that. I just feel that Annalise, they're not showing her a lot. And she's considered one of the athletic hot ones. And they always showcase her. Or that girl every season, and they're not doing that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she will be a floater, but from this competition, from what I saw, she's not really a floater. Um, Something else that I didn't like, this competition, it's not fair. It wasn't fair for the people that were heavier, for the people that are taller. Um, if you noticed the O's, that you can shift your arms up and down. The H's, if you were too tall, were the only things you could hold on to. And you're stuck with that long reach. So say that I'm going like this and my arms are getting tired. If I had an O, I can come up and change my arm position. I can go down and change my arm position. If you're too tall, you were stuck with the H's and you were stuck like this, that's a disadvantage. Whatever. What they should have done was had holes in the side for them to hold on to. That would have made, or handles or something, that would have made it, in my opinion, more fair. But these things, from what I've been hearing from Big Brother alum, are designed like that intentionally to give certain people advantages because it would be boring for the same people to continuously win over and over again. Now, I've been avoiding this because I know that it's a hot subject, and a lot of people talked about it on Twitter already. The fact that the four people Jackson picked were some sort of minority, whether it was age, race, body type, or gender, and some of them are multiple minorities. This season is full of minorities. To to say that he picked them because of their minority status is not fair to Jackson. However, he did the smartest thing in his position. Would I have done that? Absolutely not. I would have been as transparent as I possibly could. I don't know the rules of that power. I'm not sure how much you can say. But he pretty much told David to his face that, yo, I'm going to have to banish you. So if that's the case, if you were allowed to discuss who you're going to banish, because in HOH you can't discuss who you're nominating. If you do that, then they can't be nominated for some reason. Um, I would have pulled everyone in and said, hey, what are your thoughts on being nominated or being banished? I would have gotten a feel for it, but he made executive decisions. And mind you, he only talked to a few members of his quote unquote alliance about this. If you're going to make an alliance, why on earth would you put somebody up who could come after you and the people you associate with so early? If you wanted to put non-threats up, you shouldn't have went after Jessica, and you shouldn't have went after David. That's just me. They edit a lot of the diary room session stuff, and so we may not know Jackson's true intentions simply because they don't want us to know his true intentions. But I don't know what to tell y'all. The fact that he nominated and banished who he nominated and banished, it's over with now. I feel for David. As a black individual, I understand how it can be being in an environment that's predominantly not black. But at the same time, these past couple of seasons, we have to admit and acknowledge to ourselves that they are casting a lot more minorities. So if we were to think about it rationally, the straight white male is actually a smaller group in the house, yet it seems like they've all gravitated towards one another. And it that does not necessarily mean that they are racist. People tend to move towards who they're more comfortable with. After a while, Jackson and Jack may not like each other. They've got very strong personalities, and Jackson, I think, is going to end up pissing Jack off. That's just what I see. Jack is going to get full of himself. He's going to get power hungry, and he's going to probably start trying to manipulate Christy. And that's when you're going to see a fracture in that alliance because Christy's got a strong personality. Jack's got a strong personality. You've got all the strong personalities in one alone. Because I'm going on 12 minutes now. Whatever you want to do, you want to follow, like, subscribe, feel free. The reason why I can't do these live on my phone or my mobile device right after the show ends is because the whole shooting thing and all of YouTube's rules. But 20 as far as 19,